Hey, here's some good news. We are now sort of, I'm saying we're at 95% on the new studio, Pat. Are you sort of in line with my assessment there?
Well, you said that recently, and we were nowhere near close to 95%. We were perhaps 30%, so I don't trust your judgment on this, unfortunately.
Okay, good. Well, so anyway, let's edit out what Pat's opinion is on this, and I'll just come back to me. I am now, because we are doing so great with the new studio, I am ready to go back to some of the fun things that we were thinking of doing on the show. And one of them I want to go back to is this idea of a David Pakman Show bingo card, which was in a few different subreddit threads at davidpakman.com/Reddit. There was a sort of group of proposed elements for a David Pakman Show bingo card where people could play along. And these are all things that I say frequently on the show. Pat is now part of the possible bingo card, things that happen on the show. So I want to refocus on actually getting this bingo card thing done. So let me remind you, I actually printed out, you could hear the paper, which makes it real, just like on the Rush Limbaugh show where he makes paper noises. So you know that it's really all backed by paper. Here are some of the things people suggested. It would be great to consolidate these, maybe in one Reddit thread. Email me if you have other ideas. But here are some funny things that could be on a David Pakman Show bingo card. And a lot of these, Pat, are really good. David asks the caller, are we on speaker or Bluetooth? That happens all the time. Also, another possibility would be caller actually is on speakerphone or Bluetooth. We might actually need both of those, Pat, because both happen very frequently.
Yeah, it's actually a frequent occurrence, though. Maybe too frequent for bingo. That happens once every live call segment, at least.
Yeah, if it's happening every week, it's not really a good thing. Okay. David saying quite frankly, that happens. David punching the mic, that's also one that is probably only every couple of weeks, so that could be a good one. David chuckles or says right over the audio of a news clip that's playing. Yeah, people write in. Some people write to me, Pat, saying they like that you can sometimes hear my reaction in real time to the video clips. Other people say that I'm just interfering with them just hearing the clip. I don't know. It seems the audience is kind of split.
I like it. I think it adds a little bit of something extra to the video clip. People can see that video clip on its own if they want to, but if they want to see our take on it, they got to hear the chuckling, they got to hear the right.
That's been my view, but who am I to tell the audience what it is they should want? Caller is exercising or in a noisy area during the phone call. Yes, that is a problem we've dealt with. David asks caller, what would it take to change your mind? Yeah, I've adopted I've adopted the defeasibility question with callers when they call in with something outrageous and it's clear that they're not really open to having their mind changed. And so I asked them, what evidence, if I had it, would change your mind? And that does sometimes open interesting lines of communication. I think that that's a great one.
Oh, I love it too, especially because when you say that there is no evidence that could change your mind, that means that your beliefs are not rooted in evidence. And that's kind of a conversation ender right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. David says sabotage, but pronounces it sabotage and references William Shatner. I do say that. David says with peace and love. There's a lot of these David says ones, which I think they need to be, it needs to be a mix of phrases, but also things that happen. So I don't know that we can do all of these, but people want with peace and love on the bingo card when I call something a gong show, when I say that something is abortive, or use the word depraved, or reference fetishists of any kind, like a constitutional fetishist or a Second Amendment fetishist or whatever. David uses the story segue. Hey, this is sort of weird. You know what's funny about that? I did that last story. I introduced the last story about Trump and cereal by saying, hey, this is sort of weird. Sometimes I don't know how to transition from stories that are very different. And hey, this is sort of weird is kind of a natural way to me.
The other thing you do is desperate attempts at alliteration. Like you'll introduce a story by talking about Donald Trump's depressed, deranged, depraved national security advisor, whatever else it is.
Yeah, I remember doing it with that woman from, what was that woman's name? She's so irrelevant. Kim Davis, I think it was, who was refusing gay marriage licenses to people. I would introduce her as something like completely corrupt Kentucky county clerk Kim Davis, but it was like way more. I don't even remember what the
Also,
other ones
she
were. Yeah,
lost
so
her re-election bid. She was a victim of the blue wave.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. David using the term apoplectic. David says, but you might be saying, hold on a second, David. Yeah, that's how I broach when I want to sort of give what a right-wing argument might be and then take it down. I will sometimes broach it by saying, now you might be saying, hold on a second, David. And then I kind of go forward. I recognize I do that. And here's a Pat one. Pat says, I'm going to push back a little bit on this one, which is a phrase that you do sometimes use, Pat, when you are sort of like announcing to me and to the world that you are going to be disagreeing with my perspective. I think that
Yeah.
that is one that should be on there. I'm going to push back a little bit on this one.
Yeah, I like that because whenever my counter arguments fall apart, I can just act as if it wasn't really my position and that I was just trying to play devil's advocate. So that's how I prevent that from
That's
happening.
brilliant. That's brilliant. So send me your thoughts on these. Send me thoughts for others. The next layer that we need to figure out after we figure out what's included in the David Pakman Show bingo card is what do you win if you win David Pakman Show bingo? And the other thing is I am looking into having a soundboard for the show. And so like now that I sometimes will say, please vote or please sign up, it would be great if I was able to play what the source of that is, which is like Jeb Bush saying, please clap when he made an applause line at a speech and nobody clapped. So what would be on an ideal David Pakman Show soundboard? Like would the Eggman be on it saying, Shalom, brother, which is how he signs off from his voicemails? What would be on the soundboard? Anyway, let's work on that, and we're going to get all of that together. Today's program is sponsored in part by Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've talked about Blinkist before. It's this awesome app that I've been using for several months now. And what it does is take the best and most critically acclaimed nonfiction books and condenses them into 15-minute audiobooks that you can listen to in one sitting. You could listen to 10 books in an afternoon. I know that many in our audience want to expand their horizons and learn more about all sorts of different topics, but we're mostly limited by time to some degree. I know I'm not able to read all of the books that I want simply because I've got other stuff going on, and that's why Blinkist is such a great tool. You can absorb the most important information and insights from a book in one sitting, and our audience can get a 7-day free trial by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. If you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the video description. And after that free trial, if you like Blinkist, and I think you are going to like it, you can continue enjoying thousands of condensed audiobooks for about $5 a month. Go to blinkist.com/PAKMAN.